Okay, hey, if you are watching this video because someone just betrayed you, because your business partner just screwed you over, because you just found out that people you trusted were stabbing you in the back, congratulations, you are in the right place at the right time. Because today I'm going to tell you something that will change forever how you see betrayals, disappointments, and people who abandon you. Something I learned after losing 3 key managers in 2 years, and this is after being screwed by partners who owed me hundreds of thousands of euros. After discovering that people I considered my family were sabotaging me behind my back. So betrayal is not your enemy. Betrayal is the most valuable business partner, if you see it like this. And if you don't understand this, if you keep running away from disappointment instead of embracing them, you are throwing away the only thing that can make you truly invincible. I know it hurts. I know that when someone betrays you, you feel like a shit. Okay, I know everyone at you looks like you are naive, but you know what? Those people who look at you like that are the same people who never built anything important. Okay, they are the same people who in 10 years will still be in the same place, working alone, never trusting anyone. Okay, but you have the courage to trust, you have the courage to build teams, and you have the courage as well to make partnership anyway, okay? Because you are different. You have something that they will never have. You pay to learn who is really worth it right now. And that knowledge is worth more than any course, more than any book, more than any kind of consulting. In these next minutes, I will show you exactly how I personally transform every single betrayal into a competitive advantage. How to build a business that not only survives disappointments, but becomes stronger every single time that someone abandons you. Okay, so if you are ready to stop being a victim of betrayals and start being the CEO of your disappointments, stay with me. Because what I'm going to share you right now has transformed my life, and I truly believe that it can transform your life too. Okay, little bit of more context about me, myself, Marco Coracino. Okay, before we get into details, let me explain why this topic is so important right now in 2025, especially for entrepreneurs like us. Okay, that who manage people, who manage partners. We live in the era of social entrepreneurship. Okay, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, everyone shows just the success, the Ferraris, the trips, the big apartments, the beautiful thing, the 7-figure revenues, but you know that what they never show you? The betrayals, the mistakes, the sleepless night, the people who leave you, okay? And this is creating generation of entrepreneurs that are afraid of making mistakes, who think that the betrayals itself is the end of the world, okay? Who at the first obstacle, they give up and they go back to being employees, okay? But here is what I think that it might help you to change a little bit at least the perspective about it, okay? Because if you learn ability that even that if you get betrayal of any kind, you need to remember that what matters is skill, it's your value. Look at Amazon. Do you know how many employees have left Amazon to start competing companies? Hundreds, if not thousands, but every person who left taught Bezos something that made Amazon stronger. Look at Elon Musk, same stuff. Tesla has lost key engineers when SpaceX had to launch, okay? So every betrayals, every single stuff that hurts you makes you stronger somehow, okay? And you know what is the difference between them and most entrepreneurs? It's not that they are better at not being betrayed, okay? It is that they are better at being betrayed. They are better at extracting value from their betrayals, okay? I learned this lesson the hard way. I mean, I lost a lot of people, not once, not twice, but 3 times and more. And every time I thought that it was the end. Every time I wanted to give up everything. But you know what I discovered? That my betrayals were somehow my university, okay? They were my MBA. They were my gym where I trained muscle that allows me to build successful business. And today you will see and you will understand from this video that I will teach you exactly how to do the same. I will show you like the behavioral framework that every betrayal received, I transformed in asset. I will give you practical tools that what I call an anti-fragile business, a business that only solves problems but makes stronger even when the things are wrong. Okay, you will learn 3 fundamental things. First, how to change your emotional relationship with betrayal. 2, how to extract maximum value from every betrayal you experience. And 3rd, how to use your betrayals to build a competitive advantage your competitors can never copy. But before all, let me tell you a story that changed forever how I see business, success, and especially again betrayal. Okay, this is a personal story of me myself. It was a summer of 2022. I was scaling my affiliate network, and I thought I had finally found the right people. the perfect team, the perfect environment. I had 3 key managers. One managed all operation in Eastern Europe, one handled South America, and another one coordinated the call centers. Okay, I consider them brothers. Okay, we had built everything together from the first campaign to the first 10 million revenue in dollar. Okay, and then in 3 or 4 months, 3 of them they left. Okay, they didn't just leave; they left taking clients, data, strategies. One opened his own agency using my campaign. Another went to the competition with my merchant list, and the third built a call center identical to mine. Okay, I remember that September morning. I was in my office in Sofia, and one day I received 3 phone calls, and this was like three clients and partners telling to me, Marco, your ex-managers contacted us, they made us a better offer. And you know what was the worst part? It was not the business they were taking it away. It was not even the money. It was the fact that for the first time in my life, I felt completely alone, because I had built everything thinking I had a family, and I found myself with an empty company. Okay, and that evening, I called my mentor. He heard me and said, Marco, what happened? I told him everything, and he asked me a question I will never forget. He said, but what did you learn out of it? And I answered him and I said, I didn't learn, I didn't know. I learned that you cannot trust anyone, that it's better to work alone, that partnership in general are waste of time. Then he looked at me in this Zoom call and he said, oh Marco, you learned who is really worth it now, and now you know what to look for in the right people. Okay, and first I did not understood what he meant. Okay, I was too angry, too disappointed, too busy feeling betrayed. But then in the following months, while I was rebuilding everything from zero, I started to understand that I started doing something I had never done before, because I realized the betrayals, like they were case studies in a way. I took a notebook and I wrote everything, every signal I had ignored, every red flag I had not seen, every single moment when I should have understood. Okay, and you know what I discovered? I discovered that betrayals followed precise pattern, okay, that there had always been signal, that I had a recurring blind spot when it came to evaluating people. But I also discovered something else. I discovered that every betrayal had taught me something that no leadership course, no management book, no coach could ever taught me. Okay, it had given me a visceral knowledge about how people really work, how people really goes into the business partnership, how people goes and join to the company. The first betrayal taught me the importance of clear contracts. Okay, the second taught me the importance of the data control, and the third one taught me the importance of loyalty retention. But most importantly, all together they taught me something deeper, that I need to recognize a true loyalty from a false loyalty. And that knowledge, that ability to read people, comes only from being betrayed and having survived. Okay, and this after that became my secret weapon. Okay, because 6 months after losing my entire team, I had to rebuild it even stronger organization. But this time it was different. This time I knew exactly what to look in people. This time I had to test loyalty before giving blind trust. And that new organization, ruins of previous betrayals, today is 3 times bigger and then 10 times more solid than what I had before. That what I learned in the process to transform every betrayal into an advantage, and what I'm about to share with you right now, it's a note that can help you, especially if you are an entrepreneur, okay, and if you are managing team, even if you are a manager. And listen, before we continue, I want to be very clear about something. If you manage people, if you have teams in different countries, if you have been in business for 6 years like me, these betrayals are normal. They are not sign that you are naive. They are sign that you are building something big, okay? Think about it. You have 50 employees and 3 of them betray you in 6 years. That means 94% of your people are loyal. And this is actually a very good percentage, okay? The problem is that we remember the 3 who betrayed us. More than 94% who stayed loyal. But this is our problem, okay? So do not feel stupid. Don't feel like you made mistake. Feel like an entrepreneur who is playing at a high level, because only people who build big things get betrayed, okay? Small players never get betrayed, okay? Because they never trust anyone with anything important, okay? So go out of this with a main lesson, okay? And this is like, for me, it's relevant because I want that you get into the details with me, okay? Because I'm going to share with you the TRUST framework. The irony is intended. Trust means test, recognize, understand, systemize, transform, and then you can transform every betrayal into an asset. And listen, this is not theory. This is the exact system that me and my advisor used to rebuild my team 3 times after being betrayed 3 times. Okay, this is the system that allowed me to go from I don't trust anyone to I have the most loyal team in the industry. Okay, step 1, test. So test loyalty before giving trust. The first step is the most important. You must test people loyalty before giving them access to your business, okay? Not after they betray you, before, okay? Look, when someone betrays you, your mind tells you a story. I could not know, he seemed like a very good person. He had given me so many proofs of trust, but these are almost always lies you tell yourself to not admit that they were signals that you didn't see, okay? Betrayers always leaves traces. Always the problem is that we don't know what to look for, okay? We ignore what we see because we need to believe that this person is loyal. In my case, all 3 managers who betrayed me had done the same thing in the first months. They started asking questions about files that were not their responsibilities. They asked for access to data that they did not need for their work. They proposed me to simplify told me we need to simplify processes in ways that will benefit them, like this. But me, idiot, I interpreted that as initiative and proactivity. So I gave them what they asked because I thought they were involved in my company. And in reality, they were already planning their exit. Okay, so the first step is this, create loyalty test. A small situation where the person can choose whatever to favor you or favor themselves. Okay, and observes what they choose when they think you are not watching. Okay, I'm giving you this another practical example. For example, if you manage a sales team, give a new manager access to only 10 clients first. See how he handles them. Does he try to build a relationship that benefit the company, or does he try to build a personal relationship that could benefit him later? Another example, if you have a marketing manager in your company, give him a small budget for a test campaign. Does he spend it to get the best results for you, or does he spend it ways that make him look good but do not help the business? Or another example, if you have an operation manager in your company, give him a responsibility for one process. Does he document everything clearly so the company can replicate it sooner or later, or does he keep the knowledge to himself to make himself indispensable? Okay, I want to share you this stuff because these are small tests. They cost you little, but they tell you everything about how a person thinks. Do they think, how can I help this company succeed? Or do they think, how can I use this company to succeed myself? Recognize the patterns of the betrayers, okay? The second is to recognize patterns, because look, if you have been betrayed once, it could be bad luck. If you have been betrayed twice, it's a coincidence. But if you have been betrayed 3 or 4 times, friend, you have a pattern, okay? And this was the same thing I told to myself at that time. And the patterns are pure gold, okay? Because patterns show you the type of people you attract, the type of behaviors you tolerate, and the type of signals that you systematically ignore. For laziness, for simplicity, I don't know why. I discovered that I had 3 recurring patterns. First, I trusted too fast the people who told me what I wanted to hear. Second, I gave too much power to people who had not proven loyalty in the long term. Third, I ignored at all the strange behaviors if the person was good at their job. Okay, 3 patterns, 3 ways my need for trust made me vulnerable to betrayers. Okay, but once I identified them, they became now my radar. Okay, they became my radar, because now every single time I'm about to give trust to someone in my company, I stop and asking myself, am I falling into one of my patterns? And if the answer is yes, I slow down, I test more, I verify twice. And this is like, let me give you some common patterns that many people have, including me again. Maybe you recognize yourself in some of them, and I hope to, so we recognize it. Pattern 1, you trust people who work very hard in the beginning. But working hard in the beginning can be a strategy to gain your trust quickly. And the question is, do they work hard consistently or only when you are watching? Pattern 2, trust people who agree with you all single time. But people who never disagree with you might be telling you what you want to hear, not what you need to hear. Loyal people sometimes disagree with you because they care about business, okay? So pattern 3, trust people who seems very ambitious. But there is a difference between being ambitious for the company and being ambitious for your future self. Ask yourself, do they want to grow with you, or do they want to grow through you? Okay, this happened to me various times, guys. So here is what we need to do all the time. Okay, to take this kind of stuff that happen to you in business, personal, professional, and look for common patterns. So what type of people betray you? What do they do always before betraying you? What signals do you systematically ignore? Then you have a step 3. Third step is to understand the deep motivation behind the things, because it's not enough to know who betrays you. You need to understand why they betray you. You are not betrayed enough. Okay, you heard it right. Your problem is not that you are betrayed too much. Your problem is that you are not betrayed enough. You are not betrayed fast enough. You are not betrayed often enough. Okay, because while you are there for looking for the perfect people, waiting for guaranteed loyalty, building safe relationship, your competitors are out there taking risks. They are testing people, they are building teams, they are learning who is really worth it. It's like dating, okay? You can wait for the perfect person your whole life, and you can avoid every possible disappointment. You can protect yourself from every possible betrayals, but until you go out, take a risk, expose yourself to the possibility of being hurt, you will never find true love, okay? And you know what is the most absurd thing, guys? That we live in an era of people where testing people is easier than ever, okay? You can give a small responsibilities and you see how they can handle them. You can create pilot projects and observe their behaviors. You can build test systems that cost you a little but teach you a lot as a freelance test before to hire the people. But instead of taking advantage of this incredible opportunity, what do? We hide behind perfect interviews. We hide behind impeccable references. We hide behind the fear of being disappointed. And do you know what happens while you are hiding? Someone else who is less afraid than you, maybe someone who just started, someone else who is more willing to take risks than you, is building the team you could have built. Okay, so let me ask you an uncomfortable question right now. How many talented people have you avoided in the last 2 years because you were afraid they will betray you? How many collaboration opportunities as well have you refused because you did not want to take risks? And now, let me even ask you a more uncomfortable question. If you had given trust to even one of those people, if you had the courage to risk even once, where would you be today compared to where you are now? This is a part of the brutal truth, okay? But your biggest betrayal is not the one you suffered. Your biggest betrayal is the one that you avoided, because by avoiding the risk of being betrayed, you are betraying yourself, okay? Because look at that. If someone betrays you, you learn something. At least you have data. At least now you have experience. But if you never risk being betrayed, you have nothing. You only have regrets and lost opportunities, okay? So here is what I want you to do. Okay, I want you to stop seeing betrayal as the enemy. I want you to start seeing betrayal as your quality control, as your selection system, as your best friend who always tells you who is really worth it, even when it hurts. Okay, it's okay. It's happened to me a lot of time, and this is still happening. Okay, because you know what is the difference between successful entrepreneurs now and those who never make it. It is not that successful entrepreneurs never get betrayed. It is that they get betrayed faster, learn faster, and rebuild faster. Okay, it's like immunity. You don't become immune by avoiding virus. You become immune exposing yourself to virus, surviving and developing antibodies. Simple. So in the same way, you don't become good at managing people by avoiding betrayals. You become good by surviving betrayals and developing systems. Okay, so now risk every betrayal brings you closer to the right people. Every single disappointment makes you smarter. Every abandoned people that leaves your team makes you stronger. And remember, in a world full of people who are afraid to trust, being willing to risk betrayal is not just a competitive advantage, but it's a super power. Okay, and I'm saying so. We have reached the end of this video, and I hope that what you heard today made you think. I hope it made you a little angry. I hope that it gave you the desire to get up from the chair and go build something great. Okay, because I think you know what, I believe in you that have everything that it takes to be successful. But most importantly, I believe you have everything it takes to be betrayed well, and that's, my friend, is much more important. Okay, now what I want you to do, please reach me out somewhere. Tell me about the betrayal that taught you the most, the one that hurts you the most, but that looking back made you stronger, because sharing our betrayals is the first step transforming them into wisdom. Okay, and please tell me you can trust. And if you like this video, if I gave you value, and if you think this can help someone who is suffering from betrayal, share it, because in a world full of fake loyalty stories, we need more true stories. We need more honesty. We need more courage, okay? At least between each other. And if you want more content like this, if you want me to continue telling you the brutal truth about business and human relationship, subscribe to the channel, follow me, turn on notification, because I still have many stories to tell you and many uncomfortable truths to share. Remember, once again, loyalty is temporary, but what you learn from betrayals is forever. So go out there, trust the right people, and if someone betrays you, well, at least you learned who is not worth your trust. See you in next video, and until then, keep trusting better.